What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Friday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. No, actually, I'm going to change that. Welcome along to Friday evening's very warm outside Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Over the course of this video, we're going to be discussing Luis Diaz and how he has begun talks with NASSR and other clubs. Bit of an exclusive there for Anfield Agenda. We're also going to be speaking about Jordan Henderson and how his move back to the Premier League isn't to the club that we'd all believed. A little bit on young Rio because there's good news there. We're going to be speaking about Darwin Nunez. We're going to be talking about Crystal Palace's fate in this season's Europa League and a few other interesting bits and pieces that we hope will keep you up to date, at least until we see you tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. I have a lot to go through, my friends, so I'm not going to hang around. We're going to get straight into it. And Fabrizio Romano has said Jordan Henderson has completed his medical and signed a 2-year deal at ... Brentford. Yes, that's right. Not Sunderland, what many had expected, but Brentford. Done. Henderson signs to replace Christian Norgard at Brentford. Medical is now complete. So there we go. Our former captain is back in the Premier League. Now, Jordan, was it worth running away from Liverpool, mate? Was it worth throwing your toys out of the pram and running off to Saudi and then ended up at Ajax and now ending up at Brentford when you could have just won the Premier League again? Again, a good example there of the grass not always being greener. Right, let's move on to... Let's start with Diaz, actually, because that's a bit of an Anfield Agenda exclusive. He has started talks with Al Nassr as well as other clubs. So right now he is in discussions with everybody. With Liverpool, with Bayern, with Al Nassr, probably still with Barcelona. And you don't even have to take my word for it. The quotes are out there yourselves. So have a little look, see what you see. He is pretty much making it clear that he does want to leave Liverpool, in my humble opinion, but he has absolutely had those conversations with Al Nassr's representatives. Let's talk about Darwin for a minute because, well, we could be getting closer here to a potential deal for Napoli. Napoli are expected to make a new offer to Liverpool for Darwin Nunez, reports Mark Bruss. The Italian champions are expected to bid in excess of 60 million euro for Darwin Nunez. Now, I think we're getting close to a number that Liverpool could accept here, so let's wait and see what happens with it. But I think Liverpool, if they got 60 million euro package for Darwin, I think that's a pretty fair deal, to be honest. So for me, I would sell at that price, obviously knowing Liverpool have to go out into the market and bring in a replacement. But let me know what you guys think there. Darwin Nunez, 60 million euro. Would you take that from Napoli? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Right. Actually, just to rewind a little bit, I know there are some people who still want Darwin to stay, so if you're going to answer, just push that to the side and assume that he's going to go, and let me know if you think that 60 million euro was good enough or not. So, Morgan Gibbs-White to Nottingham Forest, it's become a little bit farcical because, well, Ben Jacobs reporting and others, he said more on Morgan Gibbs-White. Nottingham Forest have reported Spurs to the Premier League this afternoon for making an illegal approach and have threatened legal action. Spurs have received communication asking them to cease contact with Morgan Gibbs-White. Forest declined to comment, but sources say the club believes Spurs tapped up Gibbs-White and could challenge the manner in which the 60 million clause was learned of. The Premier League will now investigate. Now, why is it that Real Madrid and others can act with impunity in this regard and just go around tapping up players left, right and centre? Liverpool were held to account with it for Virgil van Dijk. Other clubs have been held to account with it. But Madrid, they can seemingly act with impunity and tap up players left, right and centre years out from their deals moving. So, again, seems to be one rule for the big clubs in football and another rule, well, not to call Nottingham Forest a small club, of course, or Spurs, but you get what I'm saying here. Not European heavyweights, although Forest have won a European Cup or two. Right, let's get back to Jack Lusby. Actually, I don't know, is it 1 or 2? Do let me know in the comments. I can't remember. I think it's 2 with Forest, or is it 1? Is it 1 or 2? Let me know in the comments. Right, Jack Lusby has said that Rio Ngumoha is set to sign a new contract with Liverpool next month, which will mark his first professional deal. And I think that is news that should excite a lot of us, ladies and gentlemen. Rio is going to go on the pre-season tour, we believe, this summer, and hopefully we get to see him in action this weekend at Deepdale against Preston, a game which, just to remind you, kicks off at 3 p.m. on Sunday and will be live from about 2:15 to take you through it. Really exciting news this for young Rio, and of course for us Liverpool fans as well, who are very much looking forward to his development. Now, Sport Bild, or Bild I should say, excuse me, have said Stuttgart have rejected an offer of about 40 million euro plus 5 million euro in add-ons from Bayern Munich for Nick Wuttmade. As we've said before, they are really annoyed with Bayern Munich for the way that they've gone about talking with the player again. See, no reports though, like the Forest owners, no reporting them to the Bundesliga for tapping them up, but they're annoyed about it. And I would dare say if Bayern do get Nick Wuttmade, they're going to have to pay a bit of a premium there because, well, they've annoyed the selling club. Let's move to Anthony Gordon now. Another report said Liverpool are considering a move for Anthony Gordon late in the window. Newcastle are reluctant to sell, and again, we're talking about this crazy figure of £100 million, which is nonsensical. Look, I wouldn't mind Anthony Gordon at Liverpool. Some others disagree, but at about 60 million quid, not anywhere near 100 million. Gimme Sports said that Liverpool will open talk with Eintracht Frankfurt over a deal to sign Hugo EKITIKE once Darwin Nunez is sold. And it looks like we could be edging closer to that Darwin sale. As we mentioned, Napoli could be getting closer to a €60 million offer. This other piece here from Corriere dello Sport over in Italy said Napoli and Antonio Conte dream of bringing Darwin Nunez to Italy and hope to reach an agreement with Liverpool soon. They've tabled a €50 million plus €5 million in bonuses offer, but Liverpool want €60 million in order to complete a transfer. Now, you're at that point now where you're talking about €5 million difference in valuation. Surely you get a deal over the line. It would be a shame for both parties in this. Napoli, Liverpool, actually, and Darwin, who probably does want to move to Napoli if we don't get this deal done. So I would imagine we will see movement on this one relatively soon, and that Darwin Nunez could very well become a Napoli player where he gets a chance to rebuild his career in front of what is a very passionate football and fan base over in Naples. So if he can hit the ground running there, well, he'll be treated as a god, in all honesty. They love their footballers over there, so let's wait and see what happens with that one. But I do think if Liverpool get to that €60 million, they should sell. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And Sammy Mockbell here breaking a bit of news that Crystal Palace won't like. Crystal Palace will not be playing in the Europa League next season. UEFA have confirmed the decision. Crystal Palace will play in the Conference League, and we believe that that means that Nottingham Forest will take their place. And again, you're going to come back to this whole idea of one rule for one lot of clubs, one rule for another. I remember many clubs getting around these ownership rules before. Red Bull, a good example of it as well, of course. But when it comes to Crystal Palace, I have a lot of sympathy. I really do, because the players, the manager, the fans, it isn't their fault. They've seen the club lift an FA Cup and deservedly book their place in the Europa League next season. I have to say I do have a lot of sympathy for Crystal Palace on this one. But they will be playing in the Conference League, and I dare say maybe it makes Mark Gay moving away a little bit closer. And I don't have anything new on that, I'm afraid. I'm not going to come on here and lie to you folks. I always tell you the truth of what I know and what I don't. So for now, that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. It is roasting outside, but I hope to see you back here tonight at 8:45 for the Late Night Agenda. And if you haven't yet, please do join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. Scan that QR code there on the screen. That'll bring you right across, where we will give you the breaking news as soon as we have it. Much love, my friends. Remember, tonight, 8:45, Late Night Agenda. We'll get stuck into it. We'll talk then. Bye-bye.